API. As I remember, we discussed this during the interview. I have already logged in and created my profile. So this is my profile connected with it. So let me show you how exactly it looks under my developer account. So these are the my subscription. So because it is a free account, I just got limited access to it. So two things we have to make sure here. We are getting our primary access key and secondary access key. So we have to remember our primary access key. Later, we will use this for the connection. Now I have to create my own application. So here I have already created. So let's go through my app. I just named it as Saurabh app. And what it connects to is just connects to my website. So if you see that I have already given my website detail, and here with app what I'm getting is my OAuth client ID and my secret key. So these are very important. We will use this in when we go in next step for making a connection. So just remember this, and you can store also at like one authorization file later on. So now our profile is set. All I will do is I will just go through the steps mentioned in document, that how to proceed. So here you have in documentation, I'll go to documentation and let's go to authorization. Here we can see we have two Auth 2.0 app APIs. One is for authorization and other is for token, which we need to authorize our API calls to Sky. So there are two types here so this is like one is like authorization code flow and another is implicit flow. So authorized one is the one which is like for the server to server connections, and implicit is from client to server. So we prefer the authorized one. Let's go to the authorization code flow. So here you can see there's a nice diagram which is already given. So I'm not going much in details. As you can see, this is the flow. This is the code flow. Actually, it is following. So let's jump into the code samples. All right. So now here we have four different options. For simplicity, I'm using Node.js. Let's directly go to the tutorials. On this page, we have all the steps required for authorization. Here are prerequisites. Let's jump into our step one, which is nothing but get your keys. This we already seen under my developer account. Then we have already registered the app, step two, and this is the screen basically which was under my app in the developer account. So this is we need this application ID subscription keys, which we'll use it in next steps. The step three here it says install Node.js. So I have already installed it in my system. So what we will do next is for creating server, we have a sample code given here. So we'll use the same to create our server. Let's do that. So here is my folder I created already, and this is the file. So here the code which you're seeing is nothing but just the copy of the exact code we given in tutorial with some custom message in it. So we have this. Let's start the server now. So first we'll go to the folder, yep, and then let's start with node command server, and this is server is running right now. Okay, let's check the results. So we'll do the localhost and see here is my custom message which I printed. Saurabh says hello. All right, so this the server is running now. Next step, grab the source code. So we have the source code here available already. So the same I have just stored in the I have just cloned it already. So this is my this is where I have kept it. We'll go to the next step now. So next step we have to prepare the environment. So for that, let's go through what are the required parameters. So there is this is actually this is the environment file sky.env as mentioned there. So here what we need is like the authorization client ID, client secret key, and the subscription key. This three things we already seen under my app and my subscription. Port is fixed. Port we are running here is on 5000. Now for the redirected URI. So since we don't have a dedicated server, I am using the same local host from here. And let me show you like in my developer account, my app, uh, the place where exactly I have copied that. So let's go here and you will see under the redirected URI here, I have given the same code. Now let's go to the next step. So step 6 is install the dependency. So I have already installed this. So it just after I run npm install, so it creates a subfolder which we can see here, it node modules under my uh, other folder. So then we actually run the application. So let's do that. We go to the folder, cd, and then we run the npm start. So here it is running and let's check the results on my local host 5000. All right, so we get to this page where it's actually asking for the authorization. We have two options given here, authorize using redirect and authorize using pop-up. So let's say the next steps. Now we are done with all the necessary steps of setup. Next step is to set up the router and display authorize button. This code we already have it in our project app folder. So there are two files, main.js and main template.html. So all this sample, what we are seeing here, it's already part of the files which is previously shown to you. Now, as a result of previous step, we get to this screen. So here we had two options, authorize using redirect or authorize using pop-up. We're gonna choose authorize using pop-up. So now this is where the issue is. My app might not have enough privileges as it's mentioned in the documentation. I'm gonna show you. Before your application can access a given Blackboard customer's data, it must first be approved by administrator within the customer's organization. So this could be a problem in case of because I'm using a limited access account. So now if we pass this step, let me show you how exactly it should work. So we should see the next screen similar to this. So here, if it was successful in the previous step, this is where we get it. And once you have the authorization successful, we will get the token. For getting the token, we have a function. So here, this is what we can use auth to.authcode.get token. So once we have this token, we can easily connect to any Sky API through GET request and read data from it like we did it in previous examples. So this is how it will look at the end. So this is the kind of actually screen I was expecting, but due to that error, I could not reach here. So yeah, these are all the steps I will follow to actually get data from the Sky API. So if you have any question, please let me know. Thank you.